truly an honor to participate today in the groundbreaking for the Mount Coffee Raw Water Pipeline Project, a project that underscores the broad and deep ties between the United States and Liberia. It's been 62 years since an American official stood here at an opening ceremony. It was in 1957 at the commissioning of this project, originally. But Liberia has changed a lot since then. For one thing, your capital has grown. The number of people in it has grown to where it's now about 20% of the population. And what was built here in 1957 and improved on in 1970 is not adequate anymore to service the needs of the population. The United States shares Liberia's goal for a more prosperous future for the Liberian people. I'm glad to see the young people here today because that's what we're all here for. Water is life. We need it for your schools, for the hospitals, and for the clinics that you support here. And key to that growth is inclusive economic growth and investing in people. So the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which is the U.S. government agency that's sponsoring this initiative, measures progress on efforts towards increasing economic freedom and investment in your citizens, as well as strengthening the rule of law when we're selecting partner nation recipients. So recognizing that inadequate infrastructure can hinder economic growth and progress. In 2016, the United States government, through the MCC and the Government of Liberia, entered into this 5-year compact at $257 million US to support projects that would create structures to increase the reliability and affordability of electricity across the country. A large part of that $257 million was used to rebuild the core facilities at Mount Coffee. Now, the original designs for Mount Coffee included a water pipe to bring water from the dam to the plant. So by reconstructing and expanding the pipe, it will be possible to bring more water and to deliver it more cheaply and more reliably using gravity instead of electric pumps to pull it from the river. And that's where you get that savings of $780,000 a year in reduced electricity costs. So the new pipe will also, as importantly, remove salt water from entering the city system. So today we really are proud to launch the construction beginning of this last piece of the Mount Coffee Rehabilitation Project. So with thanks to the solidarity that the American people share with Liberia, we have provided this grant of $18 million to fund the new expanded pipe to carry much more water to this plant for the treatment that it needs before delivered to the over 1 million people living in Monrovia. Because we all know water is life. So access to this water is critical for human well-being and for economic development. But this pipe is just one of the projects the U.S. government is funding to address the critical needs of water in Liberia. I've got my USAID director here, Sarah Walter, and we have partnered with the Liberian Water and Sewer Corporation and other private sector actors to build and support the operation and the maintenance of water supply infrastructure in 3 county capitals, in Robertsport, Santa Quelle, and Guayama. USAID has also built over 90 wells and improved sanitation to over 1,000 Liberian communities. We understand how critical water is, and we're doing what we can to help improve that. So we're thrilled to celebrate with you all today because we know this pipeline will benefit many, many, many communities and advance both public health, economic growth, and education. So I'm very pleased to bring with us today the Vice President of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, Anthony Welcher, who's here today, and I invite him to.
Thank you, Madam Ambassador. Good morning, Mr. President, ministers, MCA-Liberia, representatives of the LWSC, representatives of USAID, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and other donors. Government representatives and officials, civil society, and community leaders, and of course guests, all protocols observed. This is my first visit to Liberia, and Mr. President, I'm delighted to be here for today's groundbreaking with you. This raw water pipeline between the Mount Coffee project and the White Plains treatment plant is a great kickoff to the coming conclusion of the MCC compact in this country. Liberia's civil war debilitated the nation's infrastructure and ravaged its economy. Since its end in 2003, the government and the people of Liberia have been steadily rebuilding this nation with the support of the international community and, of course, with the help of its long friend, the United States of America. The Millennium Challenge Compact with Liberia is a critical element of this support. When Liberia was first selected to receive the $257 million five-year compact, MCC joined the Government of Liberia, civil society organizations, and representatives of the private sector to identify the lack of access to reliable and affordable electricity as one of the country's primary barriers to economic growth.
And students
to that end,
of the White Plains
MCC became the largest donor to facilitate the rehabilitation of the Mount Coffee hydropower plant, the country's single largest power source.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mount Coffee has now been upgraded to produce up to 88 megawatts of power,
and
more than doubling the nation's power generation capacity. The significance of Mount Coffee extends beyond electricity for Liberians, and the project we are celebrating here today is a quintessential example of how MCC attacks problems through its data-driven process in cooperation with governments to determine how we can most positively impact the lives of the most impoverished in nations. It will soon be a source of continuous flow of safe water to Monrovia. And as we all know, access to safe and reliable water is time-consuming and an expensive challenge to Monrovia's population, but one of the key aspects of life and the need for support and continuity of life.
It is an honor to be invited here today, marking the groundbreaking for the construction of a new water pipeline for the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. I would like to thank all our development partners, especially the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and the European Union for their contributions in the waters and sanitation sectors. On behalf of the government and people of Liberia, I would like to express our profound gratitude to the government and people of the United States of America for the immense contributions and support that they have given to our electricity and water sectors through the Millennium Challenge Corporation. I want to recognize the presence at these ceremonies of the Vice President of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, Mr. Anthony Weshaw. I'm made to understand that this is your first visit to Liberia. Let me extend to you a warm welcome. I hope that you take time from your busy schedule to enjoy the beautiful beaches of Monrovia and some of our delicious Liberian food. Ladies and gentlemen, it is often said that water is life. I would say safe drinking water is long life. The construction of this pipeline will surely improve the water quality of Monrovia and its environs, and thereby improve the health and quality of life of our people. Our National Development Plan, the Pro-Poor Agenda for Prosperity and Development, the PAPD, focuses on improved service provision as a means of creating better living conditions for all Liberians. The construction of this pipeline is a clear manifestation of our partners' commitment in ensuring that our national development strategy is realized. I want to admonish the engineers, management, and staff of the Liberian Water and Sewer Corporation to properly maintain the infrastructure when it becomes fully operational in June 2020 as proposed. Before I announce the groundbreaking to open it, let me state my own personal views and with the MCC. You know, every time as a leader, when you sit with the MCC and they give you a scorecard, I want to tell you that you're supposed to get 10 points and you got 8. That means you tried. That doesn't mean that you passed fully. So sometimes I ask for 10 points and you get 8. It's not a passing grade. It should be a passing grade. But it still say we failed. But what I want to say here is very important, and I want Manaelo, I want your team to know that when you have a student in class that is trying every day to pass, and you have 10 questions, and just a little error, because you know that person is constantly doing the best, sometimes you overlook these things. But in my quest for leadership, I didn't know that I was going to be president of this country. And I became a champion of the MCC based on the Liberian people. When I saw the leaders, the team of the MCC in the corridor of the Senate, I thought it was a perfect occasion for Liberians to benefit from that project. We have so many people against because they did not believe that what it was. But for us, we thought that since they are going to bring electricity to us, they are going to help us in our economic issues. We fought 20 on the floor versus 2. We stay married that the MCC were constituted, and today the MCC is here. So sometimes I just want you to know that we are champions of MCC because we know what it is. Then I become president only to know that the same MCC that I was fighting for it to come to being for our people, now there's every time the scorecard comes and we get bad grades. Yeah, I don't understand. So maybe that the teacher that comes to class and teach chapter 1, 2, 3, when you're about to give tests, you give tests on chapter 5, 6, 7. Because the only way you can pass that exam, except the chapter 1, 2, 3 that you studied through all the month, and you're going to take the test, they give you that identical chapters, definitely you're going to pass. So I'm just saying that if we were taught the chapter 1, 2, 3, please don't give the test in chapter 5, 6, 7. We need a paradigm shift in the MCC. And am I disappointed? No, I'm not disappointed in the MCC. I got hope because I believe that the MCC, it is a good thing for Liberia and it can help us. But we need a paradigm shift so we can work together, so at least our passing grade can be of use to us. Because I did not go to university to stay in school for the rest of my life. And that's why I was doing homework and what have you. So if we get homework to do, if we get courses to take, please give us the extra study class and let teacher be there so we can make an effort. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your effort. I want to thank you for your understanding. And I want to thank you for your support. We are partners in progress, government in and out. America is our partner. And we need to feel the presence of America in this country. We need to see your companies that make you a great country. We need to see them here. If it means that we'll get all the American companies in this country for Liberia to succeed, then we will do it. But we must be fair with each other. We must work together for the benefit of our both countries. That's what I want to say. Because we Liberians are in love with the great United States. But we want America to understand that. So what you're doing, I want you to continue to do it and even go beyond what you are doing for the people of Liberia. So I want to thank you. So I know, as Monica just said, we'll see how we can make the test for the same chapter that you are studying. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to feature the breakground for the construction of this new pipeline that will supply clean water to Monrovia and 18M+. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you and may God bless you.